The lights are shining on us here in North Carolina. We are at Southern National Motorsports Park, and it is time for another running of the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series, live here tonight on the World Racing Network. As always, I am Mitchell Adams, and I will be with you here in the booth tonight, taking you through what I think should be a great return from the off week last week, coming off an amazing race at Atlanta, which we will recap here in a moment. But practice, you see, just getting wrapped up on just slightly later than normal. I want to apologize to all for that one. It is Jason Gracias who is going to be the fastest driver in practice here tonight. And this is race 14 of the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series season. We are getting close to that chase for the championship, and we're going to talk a lot about that as well later on in the broadcast. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Let us know out in the chat if you are watching. We love to hear from you. As always, looking for some drivers to get out and take some qualifying laps. Here is the one of Jason Gracias, the fastest driver in practice. Had some paint scheme issues there in that Max Graphics one, but he got it taken care of for us this week, showing off the great work Max Graphics did on that car. That is going to be his first time lapped here. A lot of drivers have times coming in on the charts right now. It's currently the driver who's been great on short tracks all season long, Philip Scott, already up at the top of the chart. Again, this is a very small racetrack. Lap times just over 15 seconds. 15.018 for Philip Scott there on that lap. So certainly gonna be a quick race here tonight. We have 130 laps. I wanted to double check myself before I read that one off. 130 laps of racing here from Southern National Motorsports Park. This is a track we don't see all too often. Looking for some drivers out on track. Here's Ryan Sizemore in the 8. Looks like he got a piece of the wall actually there on his opening lap. Sizemore goes to 9th on the chart. 9 drivers have taken time so far in qualifying as well, but as you can see up in that top right-hand corner of your screen, still over half the session left to go in the 5-minute qualifying period here before we go racing from Southern National. Again, it feels like things have gotten a little bit rushed here to kick off the broadcast tonight. And welcome back to the World Racing Network. We took a little bit of an off week there, did the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series, but back here tonight for what I expect to be a great short track race. Southern National, very difficult track, but we saw great racing at USA a couple weeks ago. I expect similar action here tonight at Southern National. Here's Noah Owens out on the racetrack. Noah Owens comes into tonight 9th in points, so sitting pretty well, but still got a little room to be worried coming toward those playoffs, but a good run here tonight for driver of the 88. Should be a good run. Of course, I talk about points. We had a big shakeup in points last week in Atlanta, 2 weeks ago. For those of you all who tune in regularly to the World Racing Network, you know that it was Bryce Hunter in the 49 picking up his first win in the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series back at Atlanta. We'll see the second lap for Owens. That will put him 8th on the speed chart. Bryce Hunter picks up his first win, and Philip Scott moves into the points lead, overthrowing Adam Pettit, who was absent last week. This is the first time since Homestead, Miami, for those of you who read our little post-race recaps we do here on our website, which you can find the link to somewhere around here on the YouTube channel. This was the first time since Homestead, Miami, race number 2 of the season. The 17 of Adam Pettit has not held the points lead. So Philip Scott starting on the pole if things stay the same. Of course, Nate Maurer here in the 971 certainly going to want to change things. Philip Scott comes in here, points leader, sitting on pole, and he's been good on short tracks all season. So we talk about wanting to build momentum. A great opportunity for Scott here tonight as well as a lot of other drivers, though, as Nate Maurer goes to 8th on the speed charts. Mike Tellier in the 47 also currently sits second in points now, just 8 behind Philip Scott. Of course, we have Ryder out in the chat, as always, saying go Philip. I think Philip Scott has the most fans tune in here on the World Racing Network, at least in the chat, of anybody we have here, and nobody else out there taking qualifying laps right now. There's only 15 seconds to go, so we will be going over to the race session very shortly. They'll start rolling those cars out to the grid, and we will take a look at your starting order for tonight's race. From Southern National, again, this is a track drivers probably don't have a ton of experience on. It's just not a very common short track for these types of cars, especially. On iRacing, you see late models go here sometimes. You see modifieds run here sometimes, but it's not what I would call a super popular track, I don't think. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how these drivers adapt to the race tonight. And we will take a look at that starting order here as drivers are rolling out to the grid. Here he is, Philip Scott in that World Ninja League 99. He is going to be starting it off from the pole, your new series points leader. Again, including tonight, we are just 4 races away from the playoffs here in the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. Starting in second is going to be Jason Gracias in the number 1. Then it's the 33 of Trey Whited, who's had a good run here in the last couple of races, rolling off from 3rd. Starting in 4th is Doug Neal in the 77. In 5th is the 9 machine of Steven Lachensky, a good qualifying effort for that car. Also for the 47 of Mike Tellier, who had a good week. A lot of speed last week, kind of up and down for Tellier, looking for a good run here tonight. Martin Plute in the 4 starts in 7th. In 8th is the 971 of Nate Maurer. Starting in 10th is the 88 of Noah Owens. In 10th, 28 of Sam Kohlhaas. Starting in 11th is the 8 of Ryan Sizemore. In 12th, the 17 of Adam Pettit. We talked about missed a couple of weeks here, lost the points lead. Looking to get that car back up, only 10 points behind Philip Scott. Then it's Tom Lester in the 48 rolling off 13th. Justin White 14th. The 39, the Beer Street Journal machine, that's Stan Hausman rolling off in 15th. Colton Gum, a new name here in the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series, rolls off 16th. 2 weeks ago's winner, last race winner, Bryce Hunter, starts 17th. And I believe those are all the drivers we have on the grid here tonight. A couple drivers didn't make it to the starting grid in time. Be curious to see if they join up here a little later on. Looking back up here at the front, it's Philip Scott in that World Ninja League machine. Looking to have a good run. We've talked about Philip great on the short tracks all season long. We'll see what he can do with the pole here tonight. Green flag in the air, and it was a bit of a chaotic start there. The 33 got into the bumper of Philip Scott, and that's going to allow Jason Gracias to get a really good run off the high line and take the lead from the number 99 of Philip Scott. Lap number 1 is Jason Gracias at the head of that pack. Racing really hard behind him, the 77 machine. That's Doug Neal from Simbox Racing, looking for a good run here tonight as well. Doug Neal is 15th in points, a great driver, but hasn't had much consistency. Only 2 top 10s on the season, showing a lot of speed here tonight at Southern National. Here is the battle for the 5th place positions, currently held by Nate Maurer, but Mike Tellier wants it there in that 47 machine. You see as well Steven Lachensky in the 9, almost got into the wall, might have just slightly, side by side with Martin Plute. You'll see drivers, at least from my experience here at Southern National, which isn't very extensive, but it's enough that I kind of know that the inside lane is really going to be preferred here tonight, as you see Martin Plute make that pass on the inside lane. It's just so much quicker, at least in all the cars I've driven here, to run down on that inside lane. And you see the aid of Ryan Sizemore as well, trying to take a spot from Noah Owens on the inside. It's just so much harder to get the car to turn up there on the outside lane, and so I think throughout the night you're going to see drivers really fight for the inside lane. That's kind of why it took me by surprise when Jason Gracias was able to get to the race lead on the outside lane. Mike Tellier, I think he used a little bit of the bumper there, headed into turn 1. Going to move his way underneath the 33 of Trey Whited and up into the top 5. Martin Plute going to go along with it here, and we had a great battle here on the screen as well. I'm going to go back to the 9 of Lechensky here in 8th place. The 17 of Adam Pettit was really stuck behind a 2-wide battle. Started 12th, currently 11th, but like we said, he comes into tonight with a lot to make up. Lost the points lead after being absent last week. Really is going to be wanting to get that back here. Big side-by-side. I think there might have been contact somewhere. I heard Justin White gets by Sam Kohlhaas. Now you see Bryce Hunter, winner in Atlanta, doing the same thing. Hunter currently runs 15th, started 17th. So tail end of the field here tonight. Last week's winner, I keep saying last week, 2 weeks ago's winner, with a lot to make up for here tonight in terms of starting position. Stay Tuned Sports out in the chat saying what's up. Not much Stay Tuned Sports. It's kind of the same as usual. We're watching some great racing here on the World Racing Network. It's Short Track Thursday night this week at Southern National. This is a very fun track. I've talked about one we don't see very often. Jason Gracias not really driving away from the 99 of Philip Scott. I don't know where I got 33 from. Jason has about a half a second lead over Philip here in the 99. But Philip, you saw him on that initial start, got some contact to the rear bumper from the 33 of Trey Whited, and you can see the damage as well on the 33 of Whited. A lot of damage on the front end of that Chevy Camaro as he is trying to fight Mike Tellier for the 6th position. He also has the 9 of Lechensky right on his rear bumper here, so a good gaggle here in the middle of the pack, fighting for some position. Adam Pettit, once again, moving his way up through the field slowly but surely here. We've seen some good short track speed this season as well from Pettit. Starts 12th on the night, currently up to 9th, up 3 positions. Already almost 20 laps in the books in this 130 lap event. It goes by very quickly here. Again, almost 15-second laps, just slightly over 15 seconds. So this race is going to fly by in a hurry. At least it'll feel like it. You see really hard battling Mike Tellier trying to fight on the outside lane, but like I alluded to, just not much to do up there. And I think Tellier actually went for a little bit of a blink. He's not showing up on the track right now in that 47, so hopefully he gets whatever connection issues he has resolved. The gap up front stayed about the same here. Jason Gracias over Philip Scott. A little back further in the pack, you have the 88 of Noah Owens and Justin White going at it here for the 11th place position. They're running just behind the Beer Street Journal machine of Stan Hausman. Again, Beer Street Journal, the title sponsor of the series. Love to see Stan doing well inside the top 10, but Justin White looking for the pass up the inside lane of Owens. Will he be able to get that one clear? Not out of turn 4. Going to try again in 1 and 2. No, Owens doing a good job fighting there in the outside lane, but like I said, there's just so much more grip, and it's so much easier to get that car to turn down in the inside lane, and I think that's what we see happen here. Justin White able to take that position, now runs in the 11th spot. Mike Tellier has yet to reappear on the racetrack also. At this point, he's being scored as 6 laps down. I think he lost connection to the server while battling up inside the top 5, which is not what the driver second place in points wanted to see here tonight. Hopefully he can get out and rejoin us here as we are, again, race flies by. Now past the 25 lap mark, lap 28. The pace being run by Jason Gracias. It's blistering fast. And if you are out there watching here tonight, tell us who you are rooting for. We'll go check up on them here after we step away for a moment. And we are going to listen in to the sounds of short track racing at Southern National. Was a brief little break just to listen on board with Jason Gracias and Philip Scott as the gap starts to close up. You see up top though the 10 of Colton Gum, I believe. Yeah, I expanded the name. I hope I'm getting it right. Again, the 10, a new face here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series, currently runs in the 15th position, just became the first car 1 lap down. If we were to get a caution now, is the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award here as the leaders continue to work through lap traffic. There's Tom Lester in a K&N car. Oh, he and Gracias got close there out of turn 4. That was a scary moment for your race leader. They are going to keep it going straight though, and Gracias has led since the drop of the green flag. Of course, did not start on pole. Caution out. You see the car around there in 1 and 2. That's Bryce Hunter coming off first career win at Atlanta 2 weeks ago here on the World Racing Network, and we'll take a look back at what happened to the number 49 Dr. Pepper machine. Here he is going into 3 and 4, battling with the 88 of Noah Owens. The incident's in 1, so we'll see here. Oh, looks like the 88 gets loose there out of 4 and clips Hunter. Just kind of goes around into the wall, and yes, that is going to bring out the first caution of the night here. We'll go take an onboard look on with the 88 of Noah Owens here. So again, you all know that's my favorite camera shot if you watch here regularly. See the wheel just get a little bit out of control, lost the rear tires, and nowhere the 49 could go. Nothing he could do, just kind of in the wrong spot there. Fortunately, I don't think either one of them came out of that with a ton of damage. The 88 of Noah Owens, we'll see it here when we look back live. He does have a lot of damage on the rear bumper, but that one was not from that incident. You see Tellier finally reconnected to the server. 17 issue. I hope that's not the case. I guess if you can hear me, let me know in the chat. YouTube says I have an excellent connection. So we're just gonna roll with it here while I sort these things out. Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award winner, I believe the 2 of Justin White. There's all kinds of crazy things now happening over here on our end. Justin White is going to pick up the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. And yes, we are back live. I think something had some issues there. I don't know exactly what. I don't know if you all lost me for a minute or not, but yes, I can see now we are back live. I think there were some technical bugaboos, but Justin White, Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award, I believe, back on the lead lap. Of course, that could also be Doug Neal is now being scored the last car on the lead lap, so it could be the 77 of Doug Neal. It's one of those two here. But again, thank you to Brookstone Animal Hospital for putting drivers back on the lead lap all season long here in the NSRA. They have been a big part of this league and this series for a long time. Things have shifted around, though. Philip Scott is your race leader because the one of Jason Gracias just came back down pit road. So the driver who's led every lap so far, no longer anywhere near the front of this pack. He's going to restart in the 9th position when we go back green. Nicole Weghorst out in the chat saying, "Ooh, Mitchell, I'm not used to getting cheers, or I don't expect being cheered as the broadcaster. Usually it's the drivers who get that kind of attention." But thank you, Nicole, for cheering me on here. Again, I love spending my Thursday night up here in the booth for the World Racing Network. Get to watch some great racing with all of you. And looking at the racing we'll be treated to next week is iRacing Super Speedway. So more on that here in just a minute, because it's restart time for these drivers. Green flag in the air, and Philip Scott with a better start this time than he got on the initial start of the race. Gonna get out in front of the 971 of Nate Maurer, who was looking to make a move, maybe kind of lunged into the corner. Gonna settle for second for the time being. That's the 33 of Trey White. It got right on the bumper of Maurer, and I think the 8 of Ryan Sizemore maybe let him have it here. Maybe Knox really dove back in, but caution flag is back in the air for the second time tonight. A little bit of cautions, breeding cautions potentially here at Southern National. Let's take a look at it here. It's the 48 of Tom Lester. Oh, contact with the 9 of Stephen Lachensky in 1. Did Stan Hausman, oh yeah, the Beer Street Journal car got a piece of that one. Let's see if I can't find a better angle of this one here for us. I guess the production truck gonna find a better angle. Here's the 48 of Lester into the corner. The 9 of Lachensky kind of dove it in hard, got into the back of him. Maybe some net code. We'll find another camera angle that can maybe confirm that one. We'll call in the World Racing Network helicopter here, because in my expert sim racing broadcaster experience, that looked like a little net code. I want to confirm that one. Yes, it was indeed. You saw the gap between those two cars when they made contact. And we'll go back and we'll slow it down a little bit because we can. You'll see here, headed into 1. The 9 comes in, and he is coming in with a head full of steam. Don't get me wrong. But you're going to see here, he's not actually quite into the 48. Now, he might have been, had the right or the left rear not been crinkled. Maybe that's what threw iRacing off. Either way, that one's going to result in that K&N car of Tom Lester going around. And under caution number 2 of the night here at Southern National. Now we'll go back live here and take a look at what's going on up front. Not much changed. We are about to go back green, though, on this restart. Quickly shout out the 8 of Ryan Sizemore, who is your Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award winner here on this caution. Green flag, though, is back in the air, and Philip Scott, another great restart. No, not a great start. Philip Scott, a round up into the wall. Caution flag in the air. Disaster for your pole sitter race leader going around in turn number 1 on the restart. That one heartbreaking for Philip Scott. Let's go back and take a look. Well, there's not much to really diagnose. He just got into the corner, trying to get in hard, maintained the race lead, to let the rear end just jump right out on him. There's Philip Scott coming off a really tough race at Atlanta. I know he got the points lead in that one, but that 2 weeks ago in our last race was not an easy drive for Philip Scott in the World Ninja League 99. We'll go on board with him here on the start. It sounded like he downshifted, and when he did that, the cars just went around on him there. On the start, could very well be the case, but caution flag is out for the third time tonight. Luckily, not a ton of damage again for the 99. That's been the good thing under most of these cautions we've had, is that there wasn't too significant of damage for anybody on the racetrack, which is good. We like to keep as many drivers in the field as we can, and that is the case. We have 16 of the 17 who started left in the race, but that one car out is the 47 of Tellier, who I believe had some more connection issues potentially. He's 32 laps down now off the track. Let's try and diagnose here. Who is your Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award? Leaders have already been down pit road, so that's not going to help us out much here. Nate Maurer is your race leader thanks to the Philip Scott spin. I believe it's the 88 of Noah Owens who's going to pick up your Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. This time, green flag back in the air at Southern National Motorsports Park. Clean start for the 971 of Nate Maurer. The 4 of Martin Clute going to be able to clear Trey Whited now for the second place position, so move Clute up into the front row. Were we to get another caution, not to jinx things, but he's in the spot you want to be if you're not the leader. Big gaggle here through the rest of the field. Noah Owens again picking up the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. He is back in the 10th position, trying to fight his way back into this race. Speaking of having to fight back into the race, Philip Scott currently 1 lap down after that incident. So from race leader to 1 lap down, and he's not in position for the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award either. That honor held by the 17 of Adam Pettit, who is up here running around with the top 5. Pettit finds himself 1 lap down. Very surprising again for a driver who's shown so much speed throughout the season. 3rd in points, but has been the points leader before tonight for, quick math says, 11 races. So the 17, 3 wins. Excuse me, I believe he has, yes, 4 wins. Don't want to forget one there, Adam. Currently sits in that lucky dog position. And Jason Gracias, we saw him lose the lead, went down pit road, trying to fight. 971 runs high because the battle is for second here. Martin Clute getting pressure on the outside from Trey Whited. And caution flag in the air, going to put a stop to that one for the 4th time here tonight. Let's take a look back at the caution. This one's proving to be a little more difficult to find. Let's see, we're gonna... When the button that finds cautions doesn't work, we have to use our sleuthing skills. I'm gonna pretend to be Sherlock Holmes here for a minute, if you'll play around with that in your mind for just a minute while I try and find who it was who brought out the caution here. Okay. That took a lot of looking at the racetrack, but I believe I have located a spun around Noah Owens in the 88 machine. See if I'm correct. Maybe. Oh yeah, looks loose into 3 out of 4. Yep, goes around. Super sleuthing. Successful. Noah Owens there. Bringing out this latest caution. Single car incident. Again, no real heavy damage for Noah. I think he kept it out of the wall there. So that will keep the 88 in the race. Still on the lead lap, but 1 lap down. The driver who is also now back on the lead lap is right here, the 17 of Adam Pettit. Back on the lead lap thanks to our friends at Brookstone Animal Hospital. And sponsoring that Lucky Dog Award. If you want to find out more about them, Beer Street Journal, or any of the other series sponsors who are ticking away in that right-hand corner, top right-hand corner of your screen, make sure to go down into the video description. Give all of them some love because they make Thursday night racing possible here on the World Racing Network. Time to restart this race once again. Nate Maurer, look at Martin Plute on the outside lane. What a start the Ford machine got, but Nate Maurer able to power out of 2 on the inside lane. Oh, I thought he was going to slide up there, but Martin Plute really fighting hard in that outside lane. These drivers have been on tires just under 40 laps here. Hit under the first caution and really not come back in much since then. And look at Martin Plute. I always say the speed's there on the inside lane. Martin Plute just had to go prove me wrong. He passed Nate Maurer very much clean on the outside lane, and Maurer now is going to be left to fight for second. Look at Justin White. We've talked about him. When we looked at Justin earlier in the race, he's back around 15th, battling outside the top 10. I think around 11th or 12th, actually. Justin started 14th, currently runs 4th, fighting for 3rd. So Justin White had a great start to this race, but locked in a big battle now with the 33 of Trey White. And like I talked about, a lot of speed in the last race at Atlanta, but just another driver who had a rough go of things at Atlanta is Whitehead. Almost pulled it out, though. I believe it was one of the Whiteheads. I'm going to go fact check myself, because again, I don't want to say it wrong. But Trey is going to be able to clear Nate Maurer. Not quite, almost got clear of him now for the 2nd place position. For the time being, will remain in 3rd. Now he's going to get clear for 2nd. So move the 33 up into 2nd place behind Martin Plute, who's just driven away thanks to that battle for position there. Battle for 2nd position. That really let him get away. And it was Trey who finished 3rd last week. It was Brock Whitehead who had an even rougher time back at Atlanta. Take a look through the field here, see who's got battles going on for position. Looks like we have a little, well, it's really just this train of single car through the entire field, really. Let's go to the big camera here. You see everybody really running single file right now. Nobody's in a side-by-side fight for position, but any one of these drivers at any moment could have a fight for their spot on their hands. Everybody bumper to bumper. There was contact here in the field. Here's stuff going on around the 39 of Stan Hausman. I think he got the bumper from, I'm assuming, the 9 of Lachensky, but it could have been the 8 of Sizemore. Here, those two, though, were battling side by side, and now Sizemore dropping spots here through the field. You see Philip Scott. Now Scott is the first car 1 lap down, so we're a caution to come out now before your race leader Martin Plute can lap anybody. Philip Scott would pick up a Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. Bryce Hunter's a little ways behind him. He is the next car 1 lap down. And you see Philip get around the 8 of Sizemore. Up at the front of the field, though, we have things going on. As look at the 33, got to the inside of Martin Pluke, taking the race lead. Gotta clear the 4, though. That's the challenge, and there's lap traffic. Never mind, I don't know what I saw. I thought I saw lap traffic. Those two, though, still side by side. Martin Pluke not gonna give up the race lead without a fight. We saw him take it on the outside lane, but that 33 machine looking so fast. Again, Trey, once he got the win at Talladega, and he's had speed all season long, got the win at Talladega as you see him bang doors out of turn 2. It's just like he found another gear in that race car. The 33 seems to be up at the front every single week here lately, and now gonna take the race lead from Martin Pluke. You see Justin White as well looks underneath the 971 of Nate Maurer, and that is the battle for the 3rd position here. Nate, though, able to hold him off, and Martin Pluke not giving up on the race lead either. He's keeping the pressure alive on the rear bumper of Trey Whited in that 33. Back in the field as well, battle, but oh, look at Stan Hausman in the inside wall. He's been there once before. Caution flag in the air. We'll take a look back at it again. Not Stan Hausman's first trip there to that infield wall here tonight, and we'll see what caused him to do it this time. This one looks more single car. Yeah, just tried to get on the throttle, lost the rear wheels. Did make some contact as well with that infield wall, and that puts us under, I think, our 5th caution of the night. I should really start keeping a little post-it note with that information on it. We'll know post-race. It gives me that data. On board. Now you see him. He even knew it. He was already had the wheel turned to the right, trying to save that race car, but just tried to get on the throttle a little too aggressively, and it went around. So easy to do, especially when the tires get old at a short track like Southern National. See, we caught everybody on pit road this time for the most part here. Somebody who is really happy with that caution is going to be that 99 of Philip Scott. He should be picking up a Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. We're waiting on everything to kind of settle out here with iRacing scoring, but unless something crazy happened that caused Philip to not get that lucky dog, I believe he should be back on the lead lap, waiting to see, because he has scored 1 lap down at the moment. Back up at the front, where things seem to be constantly changing. Martin Pluke now back up into the race lead with Jason Gracias in 2nd place. 33 of Trey Whited now runs 3rd, went into that round of pit stops, leading the race. Probably a slow stop, of course, for Pluke. Pluke did not pit. That's actually very important here. The 4 of Martin Pluke on 60-lap old tires here versus everybody else around him on fresh tires. Green flag back in the air, but not for long. Caution flag is back in the air. Let's go take a look back at it. I don't know actually who got that Lucky Dog award, because it was showing Stan Hausman last car on the lead lap. If not him, Steven Lachensky in the 9 and Philip Scott still lapped. So I don't really know what happened there. Let's see. We have found the caution here. It was on the restart. Flip to another camera. 17 of Adam Pettit. You see him here. The 88 of Noah Owens and the 8 of Sizemore. The 17 gets into the rear bumper of the 8. And again, we'll go back and take a look at it from our World Racing Network helicopter, which we thankfully had the budget once again to bring to Southern National. Flew it all the way to North Carolina just to see That, again, it looks like a little bit of net code off the 17. I hate to cry net code on some of these incidents. We'll, again, take this one to the slow-mo camera, headed into turn 1. You see the 17, again, he's going in hot. That one, you can see that there was a gap, but that's close enough. I don't know how to call that one. The only way I guess I'd call that one is the 8 of Ryan Sizemore up into the outside wall. A lot of damage on the rear end and front ends, looks like, too, of that race car. And we have had a string of cautions here at Southern National. That's kind of to be expected at the short tracks. That is kind of what we saw as well at USA International, if you remember a couple of races back. We had a pretty good green flag run, then we got some cautions, and they just kind of kept coming out from there. That is going to allow Martin Plute, though, to retain the race lead on those older tires. The 10 of Colton Gum here is your Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. Oh, we look back up at the front to leaders wrecking. Oh my goodness, we missed something here. Martin Plute, the 33, 971, Philip Scott. A ton of damage. Martin Plute torn up. Went into that leading. Let's go take a look back on the replay here at this one. That is a massive wreck. Big implications for your race leaders. Let's go up here from the tower. This might be a little too far away to really tell. It looks like the one of Gracias came down, got into the 4 of Plute, and it's on from there. Oh my, and you just see cars piling in with nowhere to go. We're going to go grab a little bit of a better look at those front 2 here. Let's go from our cameras around the track and see what they picked up. Yeah, I think Jason Gracias was way further down the track than Martin Plute anticipated. I wonder if he didn't spin the tires a little bit himself, but man, that was huge wreck. And you see the leaders continued to pile in. We'll go back to our, actually, I think we've got the blimp now on site here at Southern National. And we're going to call up the services of the World Racing Network blimp to take us through this one. And you'll just see, I do think Gracias, it looks like he spun his tires a little bit. He's going to really escape that one without much damage, but you see everyone just piles into it once it happens. I just continue to wreck. And again, that is a lot of your race leaders with massive, massive damage on their race cars. Martin Plute going back live. That car is absolutely destroyed. The 33 of Trey Whiteage just destroyed. No front end left on that race car. Nate Maurer got a good piece of contact there. You see it in the front and rear bumper. Not nearly as bad. Stan Hausman got a decent piece of it. Doug Neal here. Look at the rear bumper of the Simbox racing machine of Doug Neal. A lot of cars torn up in that one. And it's Jason Gracias who is going to be your race leader when we go back green flag racing. In the number 1 car, he'll have Justin White. Again, started 14th, Justin White. Now up into 2nd place. There's been a lot of big shakeups because of that. When you see the 8 of Sizemore, that car just blew up. He was smoking. I don't even know who the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award winner is here on this one. The scoring is just wild with so many of your leaders through the pack, and everything's a bit shaken up here by this one. It might be, I mean, the last car I have on the lead lap is Steven Lachensky, so we'll go with the 9 car, although their car's lined, you see Martin Plute lined up behind him. Somebody again is your Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award winner, but we are green flag racing once again at Southern National. Under 20 laps to go. Stay tuned, Sports Set out in the chat. Looks like a little wiggle from Jason. I kind of agree. I think he spun his tires just a little bit. Caution flag back in the air before we got much action again under our belts. Gives us another opportunity to go dissect a wreck here. And this one again, a rough night for the last winner of the last race. Going from bad to worse here for the 49 of Bryce Hunter. The 88 of Noah Owens just got in there hard and got into the back of Hunter. Nothing he could really do from that angle. Nate Maurer came in, got a little piece of it, but just kind of got hit from the rear bumper, at least from that camera angle. We will see from another angle if it's anything different. See Bryce Hunter heads down into the corner. Owens just gets in hotter and really just plows into the back of the Dr. Pepper machine, and Nate Maurer nowhere to go for Maurer. Just a tiny piece of contact, nothing too serious, but Bryce Hunter takes a spin, kind of ruined that set of tires. I don't know. Ooh, little tempers flaring up here on the racetrack. Let's actually go back and look at this. Bryce Hunter showing a little displeasure with the 88 of Noah Owens here. You see him gets into the rear bumper of Owens there down the back straightaway. Clearly not happy, and rightfully so, I should say, but we'll see what the National Sim Racing Association makes of this one, because nobody really tends to look fondly upon repaying an incident. Of course, that one under caution. I am not race control. I am just here to say what I see on the racetrack, and that is what we are going to do with 16 laps to go at Southern National Motorsports Park. Still, Jason Grassi is leading the race. Justin White in second, looking for his first win of the season. And there's a bunch of cars that find themselves one lap down, kind of mixed in this group. Adam Pettit, though, is in third place there. Trey Whited in fourth. Green flag in the air. Jason Gracias, another great start for driver of the one. Look at Whited. He doesn't have a front end, but he still drives up to second place there on that restart. Great start for Whited there in the 33. Side, little bump for, I think, fourth place, we'll call it. Adam Pettit got up into Doug Neal there. They continue to race hard, though. You can tell the aggression level picking up here. Coming to 10 laps to go next time by. Drivers not giving an inch here on this racetrack. Jason Gracias continues really to pull out to a comfortable race lead here in the front of the field. This is a really good battle going on here. Doug Neal in the 5th position right now. This is the battle for the top 5, and there are a lot of cars here fighting for it. You've got the 39 of Stan Hausman. He's really had a rough night here, but starting 15th, currently running 6th. Even though he's had a couple of spins, gotten hit by a couple of drivers here tonight. Hausman finds himself battling for the top 5. Nate Maurer putting the bumper to the rookie in his first career start. That's Colton Gum in the 10. Nate Maurer, all kinds of pressure. And you see now Stan Hausman makes the lunge for the 5th position up the inside of Doug Neal, trying to get that position cleared. Side by side out of turn 2 into turn 3. Again, the straightaway is really quick. There's almost no time. You're almost constantly into turn 3, wide back behind him. Oh, and there's going to be contact. The 9 gets spun up the racetrack into the wall. Caution flag is out. We saw that one unfold live there on your screen. We'll go back and take another look at it here, but I called it 3 wide, and that didn't really work out for the 9 of Steven Lachensky. You're going to see him here. He's battling side by side with Colton Gum. Nate Maurer makes it 3 wide. They head into the corner. I don't know if that was a case of the 9 came down or the 10 came up. I think that is what we call a short track racing incident there with less than 10 laps to go. Kind of going for the same real estate there in the closing laps of the race. And again, they're battling for a top 5. Not really anything you expect either of those drivers to do. This is on board with the 10 of Colton Gum out of turn 4 here. You see, it really just happens so fast, and the 9 spun up the racetrack. A little bit of damage, but at this point, I think almost everybody has a bit of damage on their race cars. Looking back live here, Steven Lachensky still out on the racetrack in 8th place, so I didn't lose too much track position as a result of that one. That is going to put us into a Beer Street Journal last call. This race has really flown by for us here on the World Racing Network. Again, 15-second laps make for a very fast race. 30-second pace laps. Very quick. And Jason Gracias, he's restarted off the lead a couple of times. Again, he grabbed the lead on the initial start from Philip Scott. Held it for a while, pitted in, lost the lead. Now finds himself leading into attempt number 1 at the Beer Street Journal last call, but he's got a lot of fast drivers around him. Justin White in the 2, looking for his first win of the season. Adam Pettit looking to get back to victory lane. Trey Whited looking to get back to victory lane. And green flag is in the air. Good start for Jason Gracias out front. He's going to get pretty clear as Pettit gets shot up the racetrack a little bit. Justin White gonna be under fire from the 33 of Whited, but Whited has to give it up. Fights with Pettit. 1 lap to go here at Southern National, and it's Jason Gracias leading the race. Justin White on his bumper though. What can White do into turns 3 and 4? Lunges in. Oh, gets to the bumper. White goes around, and Jason Gracias wins the race. Justin White gets clobbered but comes home in 3rd place. What a finish that one was. We'll go back and look at it. Justin White spins out of turn 4 and still comes home on the podium. Trey White had brought home 2nd place in that one, but Jason Gracias already back around to do burnouts is your race winner. Let's go back and look at it here. That all happened so quickly. Again, 30 seconds in between the start of that last call and the finish of the race. So the action really happens quickly here on the short track. Let's go from coming to 1 lap to go here. This is Jason Gracias in turns 3 and 4. There's the white flag. It almost looks like smooth sailing, but Justin White has a great run through 1 and 2. Still a little far back, but he really dives it into the corner. You see into Gracias, but he spins himself around, and then Gracias picks up the win. Let me go back and focus on Justin White here. Justin White spins around out of 4. There's Whited spinning, gets clobbered, but still 3rd place for driver of the number 2. Let's see. I want an aerial shot too of this finish. Let's go to the World Racing Network Blimp. They haven't flown out of North Carolina yet. As White spins around, Whited sneaks by. Not as many cars actually collected in that one as I thought there was. You see the 77 of Doug Neal spun around, but a very interesting Beer Street Journal last call. And again, Jason Gracias picks up a win here tonight. He's long done with burnouts here. Again, he got to him really quick. Let's go back, though, and catch the replay of Jason Gracias burning it down here from Southern National. We will be right back with some post-race interviews, so stay tuned here on the World Racing Network. We'll be right back in a moment to talk to your top 3 finishers. All right, it is time to talk to some drivers here in our post-race coverage of the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series at Southern National Motorsports Park. It was a wild race, and we are going to start it off by talking to Justin White. Third place finish, Justin. You were spinning out of 4 and still managed to get a podium. That was a wild Beer Street Journal last call.
Yeah, that was a wild race period. Oh, this place is. Oh, this I'm surprised I even got P3. I mean, I'm looking at it now, man. I probably should have got P4. That was close. I mean, my tires are on the line, and his nose is there. Wow. Yeah, this place is short. I think it's like 0.35 miles. I mean, you could consider it a short quarter miler. If you want to get down to it, I mean, a lot of people want to go. You know, it's definitely not on Martinsville or Bristol. Laps come quick here if you're not on top of your game and you get a little bit of damage. I mean, you're going down pit road and you don't have enough time to get it all fixed, and you're just kind of at the mercy at that point. But yeah, coming off 4, I tried to get to Jason's rear quarter right there. Try to barely tap him, send him up the track. He was on 2 tires, I was on 4. If I had another 3 inches, I definitely would have touched him, and I wouldn't have felt bad about doing it either because hey, this is short track racing. This is what creates fun, controversy. Hopefully the viewers enjoyed it because I mean it was a heck of a place to drive. I think we'll be making another repeat circle back to this track next season.
I mean, it was certainly an exciting race. I found myself up here. I couldn't catch my breath because we went green flag, and then it felt like 10 minutes later we were almost halfway through the race. It wasn't quite that short, but this one really flew by here. It hadn't even been an hour since we went live on the air, and 1 minute I'm saying, here goes green flag for the Beer Street Journal last call, then 30 seconds later, the race is over. It was so fast, but I mean, you all put on a great show for us as always, and you talked about controversy. We had quite a few wrecks here tonight. I know some of them may not have some drivers happy afterward, but you got through one on that one of those final restarts. There was a huge wreck, took out a lot of the leaders. You got through that. Your race car, you've got some rear bumper damage looking at it on the screen, but I mean, that's got to be a pristine race car compared to some of the other ones around you tonight. Just, I guess, take us through your race and how you managed to put your car in position late in the race. You started really far back, 14th here tonight.
Yeah, I did not qualify tonight. I actually got caught up doing administrative duties and totally forgot to qualify. So that's probably why I started so far back. But either way, the biggest thing is just keeping the fenders on it, keeping the motor there, trying not to be run over from behind, and just being patient. Short track racing requires a lot of patience. And if you're patient and you're fast and you let the car and the track come to you, you're going to be there at the end. The guys are going to run each other and they're going to wreck. I think Philip Scott, I think he was probably one of the fastest guys out here tonight, lap time wise, but he just oversent it. And when he did, I think he collected 1 or 2 guys, and then Martin Plute and Jason got into it a little bit. I think one of them spun the tires. They collected, and I mean, I actually got into that wreck a little bit, but was able to keep the nose straight and keep it rolling. So that's what was able to keep me from dropping positions. I was able to gain positions. So a little bit of luck. Our biggest thing is patience, sprinkled with a little bit of luck, and you can be there at the end to try to take a stab at the win.
Yeah, you were right there for it, and it's been a good string of races for you also here. You come off, I believe, 2nd place as well, if memory serves me right, last week or 2 weeks ago at Atlanta. So momentum starting to build there in that 2 camp, because we're getting really close to the playoffs. Only 3 races now.
Yes, sir. Now is the time to put the playoff push on. If you can start clicking them off now, getting a chance at a win or 2, it carries over in the playoffs. And next thing you know, you're going to be sitting at the top of the podium when the end of the season is over, and you're going to be P1. And it's just time to click it off and get some wins, get some points. I don't know where I'm at in points wise, but at this point, I think I'm pretty much locked into the playoffs. So it's just time to race these final races and go and collect trophies at this point. Because if you can get the momentum, you're going to carry it to the playoffs, and that's where you're going to see a lot of heartbreak or a lot of celebration.
And it's certainly not an easy into the regular season either. We've had a lot of really difficult tracks. USA, Atlanta, Southern National. We're going to iRacing Super Speedway next week for the Car Candy 110. I mean, there's not much really to say about iRacing Super Speedway other than, I guess, good luck, Justin, because you and I both know that track. We'll see 5 and 6 wide racing here. These drivers are going to put on an absolute show like you all always do, but what are your expectations going into a massive wild card in iRacing Super Speedway next week?
100% honest with you, let me find a quarter. Flip, heads, tails. I don't know, 50-50 at this point. It's coin flip. Put 2 on one side, another card number on the other side, and flip that coin. Let's see where it lands, because that's basically what this is going to be. There's a little bit of skill to super speedway racing, but most of it is a lot of luck and just staying out of the garbage. So, like I said, when I first bought this track, I had the giggle factor because it's not a real track. Thank heavens, it's not a real track. We'd have too many dead people, but it's just fun. Point blank, it's just a fun track. It's one of those where you just pedal to the metal, sink it down in there. It's like a giant Talladega Dover, where you go down into one and it sinks you into it feels like it sinks you into the seat, and then you pop up off the corner, kind of like what you do at Dover. So I'm excited for it. Biggest thing, I'm probably going to start in the back, get a group of guys with me, probably the 7-7, Doug, Nate, Bryce, Hunter, get all 4 of us together, and we're just going to hang out in the back and kind of let the race come to us, let the guys out front run each other hard, wreck each other. And just be there at the end. And at that point, just flip that coin and let's see who comes out on top.
Yeah, and I talked about Atlanta a couple weeks ago. I thought that one was going to be a really good race. I think, was my favorite race personally of the season. I'd put iRacing Super Speedway probably going to be right up there. You all definitely won't want to miss that one here next Thursday on the World Racing Network. But Justin, before I let you go, do you have anybody you want to shout out here? I know you're an admin here, so you've probably got some sponsors you want to thank.
I do. I want to thank Grinds. Biggest one is Grinds for helping me kick the tobacco habit. Then I want to thank Nate Maurer. He's a spotter on Mondays. He's making me a better race car driver in general. He's got the strategy for Mondays, and it's carrying over for some of these other races that, trying that momentum in other leagues is carrying over to these other, later in the week leagues. I also want to thank the NSRA. Thank all the sponsors, Bigger Street Journal especially. They've come on board, and they're a top notch sponsor. They take care of business. Go give them a follow. Go over and check out their website. I visit at least once a day. The more he gets across his website, the more money he makes. So beerstreetjournal.com, and then give a shout out to Simbox, shout out to Stay Tuned Sports on Friday nights. So I want to give all those guys a shout out for sponsoring the NSRA. Thank you for broadcasting, Mitchell, and that's all I've got to say.
Thanks for chatting with me here, Justin. Again, congratulations on another great run for you, 3rd place. Maybe we'll see you up here at iRacing Super Speedway, but good luck and have fun next week.
I appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
And that was your 3rd place finisher here tonight, Justin Waidu. Again, he's another driver. Really had a good string of races going here for him. It's time now to talk to 2nd place finisher Trey Whited. Came pretty close here tonight. We saw you were involved in that later wreck. I thought you were done. Your rear end was, your front end completely off the race car, and here you come. You take 2nd place and come home in a 2nd place finish. Man, what a wild race this had to have been for you.
Yeah, it was. I spent so much time practicing at this track, and it didn't matter how much I practiced. I just didn't feel prepared, even through the hour-long practice before the race started. Got lucky, I guess, and got a top 3 starting spot, and I thought we were pretty good on the long run after about 10 laps. I just wasn't good on fresh tires, and I think we only pitted twice for tires. We were looking pretty good there at the end. I think we ended up passing Martin and led a few laps before the caution came out, and came in and got 4 tires. I think Jason took 2, and that restart happened where they got together, and I thought we were done. Like you said, we ended up going a lap down, but we were fortunately in front of the leader, so we got the wave around to stay back on the lead lap. And then there was a quick yellow, and able to just, I don't know how we held on to it. It was super tight. I don't know if you saw me washing up the track. Jason pulled away from me on that one restart, and I think I got handed second place, but we'll take it. I think that makes like what 5 top 3s for me in the last 6 races. So hopefully we can keep it up. But yeah, I thought we had a pretty fast car. We definitely had a shot to win, and we finished with the modified at the end, which is fitting for this track. So
I mean, it has been a great run for you here. Coming toward the end of the regular season, you're sitting 5th in points, so looking really good to make the playoffs here for the series championship. I mean, you talk about momentum. These good runs for you here, does that kind of boost your confidence here when we move forward? Looking at some tougher tracks here, but with those playoffs right around the corner, how big are good runs like here tonight with second place to get you more confident going into the playoffs?
yeah, like I said, the last 6 or 7 races, we've had, I would say, top 3 to race winning speed at all of them, and we were fortunate enough to get that win at Talladega. Um, we go to another track like that next week in iRacing Super Speedway, so we'll see if we can pull off another one. But yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. I thought before our car was damaged, we definitely had a shot to win because Jason was only on 2 right sides, and Martin didn't have any freshies on. So I would have liked to see how that played out, but it didn't play out that way, and we still got second. Like you said, momentum is always helping, but I just got to remember to keep doing what I'm doing and doing what I'm best at, which is being good on the long run, being patient, and I felt like we did that tonight, and um, kind of got gifted, like I said, second place. But it's been like that for the last few races. We've had shots at winning the race, but it's all just come from being patient the first half or even 3/4 of the race, and then picking it up at the end. So, yeah, just glad to have this momentum and have it keep going, and I'm looking to continue it next week.
Speaking of next week, iRacing Super Speedway, very different from Southern National in pretty much every way. How big an adjustment is it for you coming from the short track, less than a half mile, all the way to the massive super speedway that is iRacing Super Speedway? And do you think you're going to be able to keep the momentum rolling through that track?
Yeah, I think we can. My super speedway program over here at Sizemore Motorsports has been pretty good with all the guys. We've been improving each and every race. I think my only really bad super speedway race was the season opener at Daytona. I think I got wrecked out pretty early in that one, but yeah, like tracks like Atlanta. I know we don't really. I think we called it a pack track a couple weeks ago. That I still like that how that sounds. But yeah, Atlanta and Talladega was pretty good to us. So I mean, let's just keep it going and keep doing what we're good at. Like I said, being patient. Patience is a very big key, and that's the one thing that does carry over from Southern National to iRacing Super Speedway. Is you just got to have that patience and make your moves whenever you need to. So yeah, I feel pretty confident. And then we go back to another short track after that at Martinsville. So all of our programs here have been pretty well, but it's usually just been the super speedways and the short tracks here lately. So I think we got a good couple of weeks for us to build up that momentum towards the playoffs, but just got to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and good luck to you doing that again. But before I let you go, I'll give you a chance to shout out anybody you want to thank for helping you get to second place finish here tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank obviously Advanced Auto Parts for being on the car. They've been on the car for I don't know the last 4 or 5 races, and we brought them some good results and some good TV time. And obviously, I'd like to thank Sizemore Motorsports, Ryan Sizemore, and my associate sponsor Superior Concrete Products. Obviously, Justin and everybody with National Sim Racing Association and Beer Street Journal for being along with the ride, and obviously you at World Racing Network for, like, I always stress it. I like to go back and look at the races and see how I did and what I could do differently. Because, like I said, in 2 weeks we're coming back to another short track, so maybe I can coin a few things different there. So, but yeah, thanks to everybody for making it happen, and we'll see you next week.
Well, thank you for stopping by and talking with us. I hope you enjoy the broadcast. I told Justin this one went by so fast, I didn't even know what to talk about. I started doing little color commentary bits, and then, oh, caution, oh, side by side. Just, you all put on a great show for us, and I expect nothing less next week at iRacing Super Speedway.
Yep, I appreciate it, and a huge shout out to Martin Plute. Obviously, we raced quite a bit, and I think we were side by side there for quite a few laps, and I think I just barely got into him at the end. So everybody raced pretty clean tonight. Obviously, congrats to Jason on the win, and thank you, Justin, for giving me second place there at the end. But yeah, we'll see you next week and see how it goes.
Yeah, best of luck to you. Maybe we'll talk to you then, but good luck next week at iRacing Super Speedway.
Appreciate it, Mitchell.
That was Trey Whited, your second place finisher here tonight at Southern National Raceway. It is time, though, now to talk to Jason Gracias. Let's get him here in the booth. Jason, another win for you here. You've told me you're trophy hunting this season. Congratulations on your 4th this season. It ties you for the most wins of the year. You had a lot of speed in that number 1 car here tonight. A little bit up and down for you, but just take us through your approach to the track here and what made you so good, especially in those later stages of the race.
First, I just want to say I apologize to everyone who got involved in that incident on the front straightaway where I spun my tires and me and Martin net coded into each other and caused a wreck. That's not how I wanted that to go. Again, I apologize to everybody, especially Martin. I kind of ruined his race there, but Southern National is a track that really suits super late models, and I've been a huge fan of driving super late models lately, so I went to the mentality of racing this track like you would a super late model, and it worked in my favor. I did 2 tires there at the end to get my track position back because it was impossible to pass through traffic unless you wanted to either full send it on somebody on the inside or bump them out your way, and that's not really my MO when I drive. So I was trying to be a 2-tire hero at the end to get my track position back, and I was hoping it would work, and it did with the giant asterisk because netcode kind of like gifted me a win. So I guess netcode take it, netcode giveth. So luckily I was on the better side of that for once.
It was, again, great run for you here tonight. We've seen a lot of speed from you really everywhere we've gone to. Short tracks seem to have gone your way quite a bit this year. I mean, you come in here, I think I've said you're the defending series champion if my memory serves me right. As you seem to be good everywhere we go. How much practice are you doing coming into these races to win when you come race? Because you have a really good winning ratio coming in here tonight. Over 50% of the races you've started, you've won. So obviously you have something working for you here in these.
It's a really nice stat. I didn't know that was the way it was. So it just it's a lot of preparation. Working with the TNR guys. I've raced nothing but the B car the last season and a half in iRacing. So the B car is a tighter car in general, and tighter cars suit my driving style a lot better. So I don't know. I've been working to get better at the B car over the last year and a half, and I guess that's paying dividends. And a lot of these tracks have similarities, so once you know how one track drives, it's easy to translate that over to another track. So, more importantly, though, I think track position is key now with iRacing, especially with this new build. It seems like dirty air is a big issue. So, I try to put my car up front when I can and play the aero game to help me out. So that's something my good friend JD Laird taught me a couple of times in the races we've done where he's kicked my butt. So to answer your question, Mitchell, I don't really practice. I just load into the server and I go over notes with the TNR guys and we bounce ideas off each other. And usually by the end of practice, we're somewhere in the top 5 on the speed charts, and we try to carry that over in the race. So more credit to the TNR boys and everyone who's helped me along the way.
Yeah, well, again, great run for you here tonight. I keep saying that. I think I've started every little bit I've given to you here by saying, well, it was a great run for you here tonight. Really was. Coming home with a lot of laps led, another win. I know you're kind of here some weeks, not the others, but we have iRacing Super Speedway next week, and we have Martinsville coming up too in Milwaukee are the 3 tracks we have to round out our regular season. It's really a variety, Jason. You know how much we might be seeing you in the upcoming races, and what are your thoughts on kind of those tracks we have coming up?
You'll probably see me at 2 of the 3, possibly all 3. I'm not a huge fan of iRacing Super Speedway. Uh, I just I'm just not a fan. So if the stars align and I'm free, I'll make an appearance. But if something comes up with somebody, I'll probably not race. But definitely, I'll be there for Martinsville. I'll be there for Milwaukee. Those are 2 great tracks. Martinsville isn't my best short track, but I think I should be there to get better. Right? How else am I gonna get better if I don't show up? And Milwaukee, I like Milwaukee. It's a unique track. It's like a bigger version of USA. So hopefully, whatever I learned from USA translates over to Milwaukee in terms of the speed. So hopefully, we can keep this trophy hunting season going.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck in doing that. Before I let you go, Jason, I'll give you a chance to shout out all the people and sponsors who help you get to victory lane.
Yeah, just thanks to BeerStreetJournal.com for the series sponsorship. If you guys need any beer recommendations or reviews, go check them out. Thanks to everyone who makes it possible over here at NSRA, the admin team, for putting up with some of the egos in the server and people questioning them like I did today. Um, they do a great job. They are firm, stick by the rules, so that's what you really want in a league. Thanks to Brookstone Animal Hospital for Lucky Dog, JNR Craftworks, Eclipse Photography, Simbox, Stay Tuned Sports. Thanks to Max Graphics and Chris Darling for being the primary sponsor on my cars the last couple seasons. It's always nice to see that Max Graphics #1 up front. A lot of airtime. So if you guys have any kind of design or paint scheme, hit up Chris at maxgraphics.co. Look him up on Facebook. He's on Twitter, on the forums, Discord, what have you. So any graphical work, hit up Chris. Really good work. Excellent prices. And you can possibly have a really nice car like mine, like my car out there tonight. And last but not least, thanks to World Racing Network for the broadcast. Make sure if you're at home watching, please like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment. It really helps with the algorithm and gets these guys noticed because they do great work.
Well, thank you for the shout out, and thank you for talking with us after another win for you here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. Hope to see more of you soon here, Jason. Best of luck in your next races.
Yeah, thank you. And everyone at home, have a good night.
That was your race winner here tonight, Jason Gracias. He comes home with win number 4 of the season. Again, it's been a great season for Jason Gracias. I have some updated point standings I will get to you here momentarily, but again, he's here trophy hunting. He said that himself, and he's done a fantastic job here. His last 4 starts have all been wins here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. I said over half the races he started, he's won. That's 4 out of 7 starts. Just an impressive record so far for Jason Gracias. Finds himself a bit far back in points. Like we've said, he is 17th in points. He has made significantly less starts than anybody else, 7 compared to the 10 from the drivers around him. So it's been a good season. Another win for Jason Gracias here tonight. Let's see. Again, that is about going to wrap it up for us here on the World Racing Network. We have just a few more orders of business left to do here before we go off the air. First and foremost, before we get to all that, thank you to all of you who have tuned in here tonight and watched Southern National with me here up in the broadcast booth. I enjoy getting to spend my Thursday nights watching races with you each and every week. Take you through the finishing order here from tonight's race. Again, it was Jason Gracias picking up the race win. Trey Whitehead comes home in second. Justin White finishes in third. Then it was the 17 of Adam Pettit who, for those of you who are curious, retook the points lead here tonight. Took it away from Philip Scott and now has a 7-point lead with only 3 races left to go in the regular season. So Adam Pettit took a break from leading the points for 1 week, back up there now, though. Then rounding out the top 5 was Simbox Racing's Doug Neal. In 6th was his teammate Nate Maurer. In 7th place was Stan Hausman in the Beer Street Journal car. Went from 15th to 7th tonight. Definitely not a bad run for Hausman here tonight. Then it was Steven Lachensky finishing in 8th. Philip Scott, your pole sitter, comes home in 9th after really not the run he had hoped for here tonight at Southern National. Then it was the rookie in his first start that I am aware of, Colton Gum, coming home in 10th. Top 10 in the first appearance. Not a bad way to start things off. Then it was Martin Plute coming home in 11th. Bryce Hunter finished in 12th, coming off a win at Atlanta. Then it was Tom Lester in the 48 in 13th. In 14th was Sam Kohlhaas. 15th was Noah Owens. 16th was Ryan Sizemore. And Mike Tellier rounded out the field quite a bit lapsed down again after some connection issues in 17th. And that is going to do it for all the drivers who started the race here tonight. There's a couple names up there on your ticker who did not start tonight's event. That's Drew Eisman, Brock White, and Ira Kohlhaas. All did not start tonight's race. And we will take, since I have them at our disposal here, a quick look at the point standings. It is Adam Pettit, like I said, 7-point lead over Philip Scott, who now holds a 16-point gap back to Nate Maurer. Mike Tellier drops 2 spots to 4th. That is the major changes up at the front of the field. Again, Adam Pettit comes home 4th. It was not quite as flashy a run as we've seen from Adam Pettit, but he went from 12th all the way up to finish 4th, so not a bad run for Adam Pettit. And that is going to do it here for us at Southern National. Again, thank you to all the sponsors who make this possible to bring to you: Beer Street Journal, Max Graphics, Stay Tuned Sports, Simbox, Brookstone Animal Hospital, Taz Racing Customs, J&R Craftworks, and Eclipse Photography. All help make the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series possible. Again, all of them you can find links to down in the video description, and make sure to check out the pictures Eclipse Photography is going to take from this event. They always do great work. Find those on the NSRA's social media. And again, thank you again to all of you for tuning in here tonight. We had some people out in the chat. Stay Tuned Sports, Ryder, Nicole, all of you got out there to talk with me. Even the bots got in tonight. They've figured out how to break the algorithm and now can pretend like they're subscribed and break through subscriber only chat. So everybody out in the chat, even the bots that we don't always appreciate. But again, for all of us here at the World Racing Network, I am Mitchell Adams. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to join us next week, same time, same place, for iRacing Super Speedway. It should be a wild time. We hope you will join us. If you want more NSRA action, tune in. I believe you can tune in tomorrow night over on 3 Wide TV for the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series. You can. They will be racing right here at Southern National. So if you like this race, make sure to go over to our friends at 3 Wide TV and watch their race as well. But until next Thursday night, hope you all stay safe, have fun, and we will see you next time.